Carrie. I wanted to be Carrie when I was growing up in high school, getting picked on. Used to look at people, try to move them, with my telepathic mind, move them, and beat them up or something.
And you have the craziest period during your prom ever?
Yeah.
But you know what? Usually when I was trying to end up moving things in my mind, I usually end up just moving my bowels, just end up shitting on myself. End up getting laughed at more.
I'm starting to see why you said you weren't popular in high school.
Yeah, because it smelled like shit after. I'm going to get you. But man, seriously, Carrie was... It wasn't until this movie was coming out that I thought, man, Carrie was actually something of an iconic thing in my childhood when I was growing up, because this movie was released in '76, so I was about 4 years old.
The original, yeah.
The original with the Brian De Palma movie. Of course,
Yeah.
this is based on Stephen King's novel.
Well, the Stephen King's novel, which was his first published novel, not his first written, but his first published one, was an enormous hit. And then the movie was an even bigger hit. It was a complete smash. Like won awards, made tons of money in the theaters, and scared the fuck out of people.
Stephen King talks about when he went to go see it. I think that was his first big novel. And he said when the movie came out, he said, I can't wait to go see this. I think he had his own horror show because he went to see the movie. And he's like, damn, there's a lot of black people in this thing.
Hey, will you people shut up? I'm trying to watch the movie.
He's like,
shut up.
He's
Something wrong with your lips?
I got to write a horror novel about this.
Yeah, exactly.
The screening.
Hey, I wrote this movie. So what? Sit down.
Sit down, you weird looking motherfucker.
You fucking little white man, sit down.
4 eyes.
You wrote it, then shut up and watch it. You get your ass beat.
What the hell is wrong with your face?
What's wrong with that motherfucking eyes? Get your teeth fixed, motherfucker. But man, I don't know why I'm talking about Stephen King. I love Stephen King.
He's looking around like, what did I do?
I wrote the fucking thing.
Yeah, welcome to a new horror called Spill.com. He's like, yeah, shut up.
I'm going to scare the hell out of you.
Oh, and he did with his face.
Yeah, look, we saw your jaw. But you know what? This movie, man, I remember growing up, and it came on TV when I was a kid every year.
Well, then you didn't see the full version, because the original, like the actual theatrical version, starts off with, believe it or not, Sissy Spacek flat out naked in the shower, like soaping up her breasts and stuff. Which you're like, I didn't remember this being in the movie at all. I just rewatched this the other day so I could be ready for the remake.
Wait, just so, because Hector's going to have a heart attack. Does Chloe Moretz do this?
No, there is no nudity in the remake.
It's so unfaithful to the book.
Well, even the infamous early locker room scene, all those girls in that locker room, they're walking around, I mean, bush and all,
right,
totally out. And this one, nope, they're all toweled up. I was like, this is rated R. What the fuck?
Okay, Hector's dick just shrank back.
I know.
Just went back into his turtle shell.
He's like,
he just got to flatten his tire.
I was like, oh,
If she had me walking around naked, it would have been too much.
he's like, thank God I was getting uncomfortable. I had a mini erection. And then I was going to have to call my mom.
Yeah, Hector's looking at his dick right now. Trying to move his mind.
Go down.
Yeah. No, come out. Don't do me like this. But
Are you sure you got a dick?
no, I eventually saw the unrated version. I had a friend of mine. He was really into Stephen King and all his books, and we would watch his movies all the time. So I've seen it. Like I said, this movie is pretty much a classic of my childhood. So I'm just putting that out there so people, you can say what you want to. This is full of discretion. I might be a little biased going into this because I love the Brian De Palma movie so much, and we didn't even talk tonight. That's a little dated, so I'm not even.
It's a lot dated.
And it's rare that there's a Brian De Palma movie that people love.
I know he's not trying to be Hitchcock. Yeah.
Well, the funny thing is that they've actually remade this like 3 other times, I think.
They have. Angela Bettis was in a version.
Yeah, a television version.
That's why I wasn't interested in seeing it. I'm like, how many goddamn times are we going to remake the same movie?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And for those of you, I mean, see, this movie is made for the kids that didn't grow up with Carrie.
The children.
Well, and that being said, it's unlike the TV movie and unlike the Carrie 2 The Rage or whatever it was.
Oh, it did have that, didn't it?
Yeah. It's trying to be almost slavish to the book, more so than Brian De Palma's movie was. In fact, there were complaints at the time from King fans. Why'd you leave this out? Why'd you change that? And a lot of the reasoning for that.
Says, shut up! I'm making money.
A lot of the reasoning for that was budget. They didn't have the budget to do the things that were in the book. In fact, they may not have been able to do some of the stuff that was in the book. And even this doesn't go all the way with it. But at the same time, they are, I mean, if you like the source material, there's nothing really wrong with this movie outside of the fact that we've already seen it.
Yeah, and for those of you, like I said, it's made for the kids who haven't seen it. This is your Carrie right here.
Yeah.
Actually, I think your Carrie is Chronicle, but I'm not going to say anything.
No, nobody had their period in Chronicle.
Yeah, well, we don't know.
Andrew's pretty whiny.
Yeah, believe me, I've seen plenty of dudes have their period.
Yeah. Usually got punched in the nose and they bleed from there, but it counts, right? They usually put a tampon up to stop the bleeding. Yeah. But this movie is very short. You've heard a lot of you have already heard the synopsis, even if you haven't seen it. It's girl Carrie. She's with a crazy ultra religious mother, and she's picked on at school to a point where they even mess with her when she has her first period. Turns out she realizes she has telekinetic powers. She has people who are trying to be nice to her, but the people who treat her like shit are just treating her so bad that on her prom night, she freaks out and ends up just destroying the high school and half the town in it. And, my biggest complaint about this is that, the way Carrie is described in the book, she's kind of frumpy, overweight, whatever. They kind of went the opposite direction with the movie. They got Sissy Spacek, pretty much like a damn redheaded skeleton.
They found the skinniest girl.
Yeah, she looked like an anorexic white girl version of Invader Z.
Like Jackson.
She looked freaky, man.
She is, when she was really young, she was kind of a weird looking chick anyway. And when she's not wearing any makeup and they frumped her up, she's even more weird looking. She has those weird anime eyes on her skinny little body.
Tiny little Michael Jackson nose.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, what? Yeah. She's weird looking, and her performance nailed it. She has that weird sort of staring at shit thing like a goldfish or some shit.
Yeah, she looks like a furless chihuahua with a red wig on, man. She's freaky looking.
Like you see a bunch of kids surround you, like, hey, get away, leave that girl alone. Oh shit. Okay, go ahead.
That's the thing, man. In the Brian De Palma movie with Sissy Spacek, she's so weird looking. You think, yeah, she deserves it. Yeah, they should pick on her, man. How dare she look weird?
Well, it was an odd choice at the time because in the book she's a fat girl.
That's what I'm saying.
Makes
she was
more
frumpy
sense.
and overweight, and went the opposite direction.
And now here with Chloe Moretz, she is a pretty good-looking girl, and they pretty much just don't. Once again, don't put makeup on her, don't really do her hair, and there's never really a moment you're like, yeah, that girl's ugly. You're like, no, she's not.
I tell you, you know what Chloe Moretz looks like? She doesn't look freaky. I'm sorry, the girl. I hate to boost your ego here, but she's pretty.
Yeah.
Now they try to do this thing of, we're going to tussle your hair up.
Yeah.
We're not going to put any makeup on you. For those of you who have not gone to college yet, this is the kind of girl that you hit on in college. She's pretty. She don't really know how pretty she is. She don't wear makeup. You're like, you know what? She's obtainable.
Yeah, this is pre-Michelle Pfeiffer getting the cat powers in Batman Returns.
Yeah.
That technique of frumping you up and making you ugly.
So they should have hired Jonah Hill and put a blonde wig on him. That would have sold her, right?
No, she's not like that.
It sounds like that trick they used to do in old sitcoms where you have like the girl who's supposed to be frumpy, but she just had her hair tied up in a bun wearing glasses. And so she took that hairpin out, it just rained down and got wind blown.
I'm sorry, but because you take an attractive chick, you mess her hair up, don't put no makeup on it, and make her go like, every now and then. That don't work, y'all. That even makes her more attractive.
Yeah, because then you're like, oh man, they're insecure. I can totally nail that.
That's what I'm saying. I know this isn't the reality at all, but seriously, you need to sell a little bit. Most girls would be like, she ain't no threat to me. And other guys would be like, well, shit, she's good enough. I'll take her. Well, nobody else want her.
And the thing is, Chloe Moretz, it's not like she does a bad job in the role. I mean, she does a perfectly serviceable job in this role. There's nothing where you're like, oh, that wasn't right, or she did that wrong. It's just we remember Sissy Spacek, who did such a better job in it. That being said, in terms of the mom, who's a very important part of the dynamic of both films, Piper Laurie played her in the original, and they really kind of pulled back on her character a lot in the original. She was very one-dimensional. Here you've got Julianne Moore, who quite frankly blows Piper Laurie's performance out of the water.
Julianne Moore doesn't get credit for being one of the best actresses out there. She's great in everything she's in.
He's not coming. It's a trick.
Thank you, sir.
You see, Mama? You see, it's all gonna be okay. Oh, repent. It's not too late. Mama, don't ruin this for me. I'll be home early.
I'm gonna have to tell that boy the truth. That your father took me and you were born
You'll say
in sin.
nothing, Mom.
And from that sin was born another, the worst sin. A man or a woman who is a witch among you is to be put to death. You are to stone them.
I'm warning you, Mama.
The devil's hand.
Please don't do this.
it seems like with this movie coming out, at least everyone I've talked to about this movie, like the one thing they're really interested in is how good she is in it.
And she is really good in it. And they like turn her character much more than just a religious fanatic to a religious fanatic who's probably schizophrenic and who's a cutter. Like she gets nervous and starts digging with tools into the flesh of her leg and stuff. And like, you're like, she is fucked up, much more fucked up than that other woman, the Piper Laurie's version.
So like a girl I dated.
Yeah, a girl we all dated. Yeah.
You ain't that special, Leon.
I dated plenty of girls where I was trying to cut somebody. You want to use that for me? Can I borrow that real quick? Got to open this bottle of beer real quick. All right. Presume. Presume. What the fuck? Resume.
I don't think Corey ever went to the prom.
Or school.
That college where he picked up girls was a clown college.
Hey, I'll take what I can get.
Cutting each other with balloon animals.
Hey, baby, you want to hong my nose?
Yeah, hey, baby.
Come on, smell my flowers.
I mean, once you date clowns, Carrie doesn't scare you at all.
Where do you go to from there?
But Julianne Moore, she's no clown, but she is scary in the movie, man. I think you're right. I think she is better than Piper Laurie in the original. I don't even want to keep comparing her to this movie to the original.
Can't help yourself.
You can't because it's so close.
Yeah, it is. But Julianne Moore, man, she sells it. That's another thing. Like, Carrie, not really scared of her. When her mom comes on screen, I'm like, oh, shit.
Well, that's the thing is you're not really supposed to be scared of Carrie at all until it gets to the point at the end when she loses it. You know, she's a really nice but scared young girl.
Yeah.
But when she gets to the prom and you know what happens, then you're like, and I thought more so even than the first one, this movie really built up how possibly powerful she really was.
Oh,
There's a lot more scenes of her like fucking with her telekinesis and trying, you know, to see what she can do early on to let you know this is no simple thing. If somebody was to get her in a bad mood, shit could go down.
Yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to know. That was the only thing about this movie as far as like stuff that they omitted from the original movie due to obviously budget. Like, do they really break out, you know, just and go crazy like Chronicle as far as the ending is concerned?
Not to the degree of the book.
If there was a fight between her and Andrew, who?
Not to the degree of the book, but considerably more than in the original film does she really tear shit up. Like, do you remember like the way she took out kind of the two nemesis in the original was really like, that's it?
Yeah.
Here, she fucks with them.
No, you know, hey, we in the world of CG.
Yeah.
When shit floats, it floats. You know,
Yeah.
I mean,
But does it look good? That's
But
the,
I thought it looked fine.
it looks fine. Can I say it's great? No, and I don't think it's meant to be anything that's meant to blow your mind. It's meant to service the story, and that's what it does. I think,
Agreed.
there's certain things where they kind of, it looks like they cheaped out on, like the size of the prom itself. The prom just doesn't seem that big.
Well, the biggest problem there is just that they were going by they copied exactly the look of the prom in the original. And that was a mistake because proms don't look like that anymore, you know?
It looked like a room full of extras. Every now and then you get people in the middle and it looked like there was a lot of people there, but really it looked like, man, they looked like they shot that in the night in somebody's, garage or something. I mean, it just didn't look that big.
Were they playing Eagles songs?
And you know what? They do update it, but they don't go too far with it except probably on one part. I mean, there's they come in with the internet, cell phones, but they don't throw that in your face.
Yeah, there's one little plot element that is really doesn't change anything that's connected to a main plot element in the original that involves the internet. And you're like, okay, well that doesn't, it's something that would happen that just serves to make the main bad people that much more despicable.
It's just, they're not trying to say, hey, look, this Carrie got a cell phone. That old Carrie didn't have a cell phone. This Carrie knows how to use the internet. She can look shit up, And so with this, they don't throw that in your face that this is more modern. I mean, they do it because it makes sense. But what I didn't like was where Chloe Moretz thought she's fine. I mean, and what's cool about her is that I think she really humanizes Carrie a little bit more. I mean, even in her most crazy parts, they show that she's a sympathetic person who doesn't want to hurt people, but y'all just won't stop fucking with me. But it's the villains in the movie, man. I did not like them.
Did they bring over the same Mean Girls from Kick-Ass 2?
You know what? They are. it's something when you think that the mean girls in Kick-Ass 2 have a little more character than the girls in this
wow.
movie. The other girls are just there. There's a bunch of side girls
who barely are there.
Yeah, they're there to just go like, but this girl, Portia Doubleday, or Portia Doubleday, thank you. Say, I beat you. I do know words. Look at that. Call myself. I can spell. I know letters. TIA makes the sh sound.
Or Tia if it's followed by Carrera.
All right, let's not get ahead right here. Just one lesson at a time. Man, right? But this girl, Portia Doubleday, and I forgot who the guy is that plays her boyfriend.
He's no John Travolta, I take it.
No, he's not. No, something about John Travolta in that role. He worked it, man.
Yeah.
I mean, these kids here, especially Portia Doubleday, man. I think she's terrible.
Well, they do overplay the villainousness of those characters. Now, to be fair, Nancy Davis or Nancy Allen in the original John Travolta, they are really despicable. I mean, in the scene where they have to go kill the pig to get pig's blood, she is literally, as he's smashing the pig with a sledgehammer, going, "Do it! Hit him again! Hit him again! Oh, like having an orgasm while he's killing this pig." Here, they did tone that back down a bit.
Well, that sucks.
But well, they did it a different way that seemed a little less like, what the fuck was that? But even so, she's clearly a psychopath in this one. And you're like, okay, I feel like you're getting away from the point of like an anti-bullying message when you have your villains so villainous that they're almost cartoon.
I just don't think she's acting that well either. I'm not going to say anything about the actress. I just don't think whoever's directed her, the movie's directed by Kimberly Pierce, who did Boys Don't Cry, and what was that military movie? I forgot.
G.I. Jane?
No,
that was Ridley Scott.
Yeah, it was something else. Stopgap or some shit. Like
okay.
But anyway, I just think she's terrible. I mean, like when I walked into the movie, she was already yelling at people, and she's like, "You gonna kick me off the team? Who's with me, people? We don't have to take this. Everybody, don't do me like that." I'm like, oh, shut up. You're not convincing me. Just get the fuck out of here. Until you have to fucking do something bad to Carrie and she blows up the fucking school.
It felt like I remember watching the original, like the division between the girl and her boyfriend who decide, look, we did treat Carrie badly and we need to make up for it. And then the girls who were there too, who made fun of her, who decided, no, we don't. Fuck that girl, was not as wide as the division they're creating here, where the good girl is so good now, it's just almost ridiculous. You're like, okay, stop. Nobody is that nice in high school. Yeah. And the bad girl is so evil. She does everything but like end up falling into the lava and be put in the Darth Vader suit at the end of the film,
Yeah, it's the girl, I think it's Gabriella Wilde. She's nice, and it's nice to see somebody treat Carrie nice. And her
but she's kind of forgettable performance.
She is. She's very forgettable. And her boyfriend's, I mean, nice people. Okay, but this like ain't okay. I'm not going to really think about you once I'm out of here. The other thing is that in the original, Nancy Allen, it was almost like she had some sort of sexual aggression towards Carrie, and that's the thing about this movie. The movie does what it has to do almost too straightforwardly. Yeah. I don't think there's anything here I don't think it's as intense as the first one. I don't think Chloe Moretz has the intense performance as Sissy Spacek. I mean,
there's no underlining subtext that you can read into.
Oh no, there's plenty of subtext. Yeah. To say that the movie is a metaphor for female puberty is like not doing justice to the word metaphor, because it's not really a metaphor when they're actually throwing tampons at her in the beginning of the film. I mean, it's wearing it on the surface just as much as the first one does, just as much as there's a crucifixion metaphor sequence at one point. All these things play into it just like they did in the first one. I don't have a problem with that. It's a little simplistic, but it's effective.
I don't know. I just thought, it's like any of these other movies. I almost thought it was rated PG-13.
I was a little shocked to find out it was R.
Besides the nudity and saying,
there's not even any nudity, was there?
I don't know. I guess I came in kind of late to this.
I never saw any nudity.
Well, we take that out the picture then. They only say fuck probably about like one time. There's no real gore in here.
A little, like one scene that's not even that gory.
Yeah, exactly. I'm surprised.
It's disturbing, but not that gory.
Well, we do live in a time that's a lot more sensitive towards showing underage girls naked.
Yeah, I call it pussy time. Yeah.
Okay, we didn't say that. That's it. You did understand the part we said underage.
Underage girls.
Yeah.
You missed that part.
People, we don't take that time out the rest of the time.
And unlike the original, a lot of these actresses actually are under 18. So it's like
Even portraying the idea of it is a little like
yeah, a little like iffy these days.
Well, I think, like I said, if they made this PG-13, this would have been one of those movies that, to me, just would have been kind of forgettable. But they would have got the money in from teenagers who who bought into the marketing. Maybe being rated R too, they will too. But I don't think it's anything special. Especially when Carrie actually comes into her powers when she's raging.
yeah.
I almost laughed.
Oh, really?
Because she's like, jazz hands for the wires, jazz hands for the fire. She's actually bombing.
I mean, I agree she was gesticulating a lot, but that's what you do when you're throwing telekinetic shit at people.
Is it what you do, Cyrus?
I've seen the X-Men films, and the answer is yes.
No, the thing is that oh man, and I'm opening myself up to the criticism. People, I realize it. Go ahead and give it to me. It's hard to actually. This movie, Carrie, is so overshadowed by the original that it's hard to.
Damn, you in this original.
I know,
Lord,
I know. Ain't this?
If I had a dime for every time you said original.
I just got to say it because you talking about me, but now you remember when Carrie in the original, when she was losing her shit, she looked crazy. Like her eyes would just go like this. She just stand still.
Yeah.
You hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah, they use that on all the posters.
She looks like she is broken in the original. And in here, she just looks like, that's it, I'm tired of this shit. Like I'm just pissed.
Well, that's because today teenagers are bigger assles. So
That's
it takes
probably
a lot
true.
less for them to go off.
You know what, man? I'm not being harsh on the movie. It's like I enjoyed it. Went out there, when I saw it, I was sitting there. I said, "This is okay. It's not bad at all. It's for the people who are going to see it today, I think you'll be mildly entertained. I don't think it's going to be anything that's going to stand out amongst anything else. So I'm going to give this a pretty high rental.
The thing is for me is that I think that the big question is why remake it if it's so close to the original? And the best answer is the original's really dated. Like you watch it now, it's laugh out loud funny dated at points. Okay, so selling that to a new audience, really, is there any harm in remaking it? You still got your original Carrie. You can get it on Blu-ray now. It looks terrific if you want to see that. This, as you said, it's for a new generation. Nothing really wrong with that. And yeah, it does stick really closely to the source material. And it has the advantage of having two pretty damn good actresses in it who really, if you'll excuse the term, carry the film. But
okay, there's no excuse for
the
that.
biggest problem.
He wrote that before he even went to see it.
Before he even got in there. He wrote that 6 months ago.
Because that shit don't write itself.
The biggest problem is the other actors in this film, really, which are they're not terrible on the whole. They're just regular horror movie actors, whereas Julianne Moore and Chloe Moretz are trying so hard to elevate it. And in general, it's a pretty well-directed film. I felt like, why didn't you spend more effort with those other young actors trying to cast a little bit better than that? But that being said, I think if I'd never seen Carrie before, I would really enjoy the hell out of this film. I think it's actually very well done. And like I said, it's based pretty to the nail on incredible source material. So it's hard for me really to criticize this in ways outside of comparing it to the original films. So with everything all considered and with what nitpicks I have about it, essentially, I'm going to give it a high matinee.
All right.
Okay.
All right. I'm just, you watch that movie. It's so tragic at the end. You just wish Professor Xavier had come in just in time to
just for one
catch her
second.
at the right moment.
Well,
yeah, only for her to fucking kill Cyclops.
I'm Professor Xavier.
Well, it wouldn't have been Xavier. It would have been Magneto. It's like, come with me, my daughter.
And she would have said, fuck that too.
Well, I don't know, because she's pretty. Xavier would have taken her. Like Sissy Spacek, he'd have been like, no, you go with Magneto or Morlock.
Get these bones away from me.
You need a sandwich more than you need a team of people to hang out with.
Because to join the X-Men, you got to have headshots. Professionally made.
You need the power of bread.